Hi all, right, well, welcome back to more Mage Night playing solo Conquest. Um, Using the Lost Legions is it? The Lost Legion expansion, yeah. So I did actually move things along a bit. So well, not that you'll see any differences, but it's moved along a bit to give me a bit more space. So nothing great to look at there. So okay, so the first part was just an introduction, set up to things. And here we are. We chose to one thing I didn't. Well, it is the right order, isn't it? Because the bot took the dummy player took early bird, and we took the great start. So they are going to first. I might forget to move these, but as long as I know who's going first. So in actual fact, it's him to go first before we get to decide. Well, let's just deal with that then. Let's just deal with that. So along here, you have to shimmy along. There is quite a big, quite a big footprint in this game, and all the stuff. Maybe not the worst, but yeah, as the map moves out a bit, you might have to move things about. Okay, so for the dummy player, we just draw 3 cards, and if the third card ends up one of these colours, we draw extra cards depending on the amount of crystals there are here. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3. We're not looking at anything else, so unfortunately we have got a white card finishing with, and he's got 2 white crystals, so that's going to be an extra 2 cards. There we go. Probably based, there's 2 white symbols because maybe he's got an extra white card or so in the base hand, something like that. No, I'm wondering if I maybe should, just so we don't confuse these with other things, I maybe do it that way actually, that's probably better. So that's the discard pile, that's the draw there. That's it, so we drew an extra 2 cards, didn't we? So it should be 5 cards, that's right. And like I say, if this last card happened to have been green or white, again, you wouldn't draw any more, that's it. So that's him used 5 of his 16 cards already. And remember, when he has no cards left, he'll then declare end the round, and we'll get one more shot before. So that's a quick start. Okay, so I was sort of thinking about what we might want to do. We did play great starts. We've got 7 cards in our hand. So remember, we can only draw up to 5 again. So if I only play a couple of cards, then I'm then not drawing any more. So, but I think we've probably got to use our crystallize and get some movement. I mean, we do have a base move of 4 though, Grant. Right enough. So I could just go to 4. Was our white and blue mana in the source? And yeah, I was maybe not clearly explaining the fact that it loses its siege. Where do I need to be looking here? Lost Legion, back at that bit. It's unfortified. All site fortifications are ignored for such an enemy. And site fortifications basically mean, I think, range attacks won't work against it. It needs to be siege attacks. So you've got basic attacks, you've got ranged attacks and siege attacks. And within combat, the range and siege attack phase happens first. Right away you might defeat an enemy. If we go up against this enemy and can produce 5 ranged attack, and normally because of the walls, it would need siege attack. Is that right? Yeah, where's the bit about the walls? No, where did that go? Must be the back of here. Yeah, walls combat. When challenging rampaging enemies across a wall, consider enemies to be fortified. Walls count as site fortifications. Yeah. So normally it would, and like I say, because that it's got the X on it, it doesn't. So if we had 5 range attack, if we moved here and 5 range attack, we would defeat that before it even got to attack us. Or this guy here, we could do 4 range attack on it. It's not in a fortification or anything, and that would defeat that. Right, if this guy had ended up in here, he would have been protected by the walls and wouldn't have had that X on him, and we wouldn't be able to range attack. It would only be siege attack. But as you can see, we do have 3 range attack, but there's no more. When you turn on our card sideways, let's just say we're using this for 3 range attack, and I turn this sideways, it doesn't give it an extra range attack. It just gives it 1 more attack. Now, the range attack can just be used as normal attack, and that could add it to 4. That could make it 4 attack. This wouldn't be 4 range attack. So, yeah, I mean, I can't do anything fancy there with that, so. I don't fancy going in there, because I don't fancy going up against a Draconon right now, because they're pretty powerful. I'm not so sure about going up against this guy either. I mean, that's a gamble, because you don't know what he is until you go. We draw a brown enemy for that, tan enemy. We could look at these. I mean, they are quite clear. I mean, I suppose I never know something maybe I thought about doing, but there's your tan enemies there. Well, that's the ones in the basic game. Now, was there any added? There was indeed. So there was 3 added in the expansion. But I mean, just glancing at them, they're all pretty nasty, really. I'm not sure I want to tackle something like that just now. But going at my hand, I could produce green mana with this, use this to move 4, use this to move an R2. That's our move 6, and that's using these 3 cards, right? Let's just say we do this, because crystallize, we can use crystallize. Now hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because I'm not going to. So I would use the blue mana from the source to gain a green crystal into my inventory. Yeah, gain a green crystal to my inventory. Then use this to power up the stronger effect of March to give me move 4 with the green crystal that I've just gained, and use this for another move 2. So that would be move 6. So we could go 3-6 in the refugee camp. This is probably, I think it's probably the best option I've got. We're adjacent to 2 rampaging orcs, marauding orcs, isn't it? Is it marauding orcs or rampaging orcs? I forget the term, to be honest. Anyway, and we'd be sitting in the refugee camp, and if we could muster, remember it's going to have to be 8 influence, but we do have threat in our hand. We need red mana for that. Well, we're going to use a blue mana dice, so fingers crossed we re-roll the mana dice and get a red. Anyway, if we did use these 3 cards and ended up here, would we be able to go up and attack with the other 4 cards that we've got in our hand? We've used these 3, remember? Well, yeah, we could. Because, well, we've got 2 options. We can generate 2 attack there, 2 attack there, and we could generate 1 more attack there. So we could, well, technically we could generate 6 attack by using this. But I think the fact that we've ended on the, what's it called? Refugee camp, that we'd like to keep this. Even if we don't get the red mana, it still gives us influence 2 rather than an influence 1 by tapping it sideways, you know. So we would have an attack of 5 that we could use. The other thing, I suppose, is we could draw a card with this. and maybe get lucky and get a better card, rather than using this for one attack. And this is a heal card, so you can use it as long as you're not in combat. So before we go into combat, we could use it to draw a card. Sorry, just draw a card. So that's something to think about as well. But both with the 5 attack that I'm saying we've got, it would defeat that. This enemy's got an armor of 4. Now we don't know what we'd get to attack us, but we could defeat that by hitting it for 4. This enemy's got an attack of 5, which is fire resistant and ice resistant. However, we're only attacking with what is it? Not fire and ice, it's just... See me getting these terms. It's a simple term that I'm just not getting. Hang on. Yeah, it's just physical resistance, isn't it? It's just physical damage. I'm pretty sure it's physical, that's the word. So, yeah, it'd be all physical anyway, so we would have 5 to be able to come. So we could destroy either one of these if we went for it. Now, we know what this one would do to us. We don't know what this one would do to us because we're going to draw an enemy, a tan token to attack us. This one would, well, be nice if it just did 3 damage. However, this is brutal, which means it doubles it, doesn't it? Brutal. If unblocked, it deals twice as much damage as its attack value. So this 3 suddenly becomes a 6, because we're not able to block. Actually, maybe it's worthwhile drawing the card with Tranquility. Because we do have Ice Block 3 here. Now, the attack that he's doing is not ice attack. So, although he's got ice resistance, he's not doing an ice attack. It would have this highlighted in a blue sort of circle, saying that it was an ice attack. So, we could use this card to block this, and then that stops the brutal. However, that uses one of the cards that we were using for attack 2. So then we've only got attack 2. Remember, I can't generate red mana. Attack 2, and then we'd be turning that sideways for attack 3. And we need attack 5. So and even using that, it's not enough. I feel like my first move maybe should be to draw a card. Just to maybe see what we get. This is before I've even made my move, to be honest. But that's why, yeah, you need to sort of think these things through. And that's why it becomes... I mean, this is just the very first move of the game. And I'm still struggling away to decide what to do. Although I do feel I'm still going to move to here no matter what. Well, should I just draw the card first though, maybe? Because I can do this at any time I want, as long as I'm not in combat. I'm not so sure it's going to help me out. If I don't use it, if I don't block these guys, I take 6 damage, right? Well, now my armor is 2, so what that means is you take 2 off the 6 and take a wound, and then what you've got left. So you've got 6. So you take 2 away, and take a wound, and you've got 4. Then you take 2 away, take another wound, and you've got 2, and then unfortunately you'd have to take another wound. You've got to soak up all the damage. So we'd end up with 3 wounds for an attack of 6. What was it I was thinking about there? And it's unlikely, the card I draw is unlikely to going to be giving me... I would need to get a card that was going to give me 3 attack, wouldn't I? because I'm getting 2 attack from that, and then they get a card that give me 3 attack. Pretty sure there's none of them to start you off with. Although this is range attack 3, which would do, you can see it costs me white mana to use. And I'm going to have used my mana from the source. So, you know, what the better option could be is maybe just move here and not attack, end my turn. However, that's going to end my turn with 4 cards. I'm only going to get to draw 1 more card. However, if the card turns out to be some influence, we reroll the mana dice and turn up red, we can just sit there and recruit a unit to help us out and then battle against these orcs. I do think I should probably play this just to draw another card, just to see what we get. Because in actual fact, if we draw another move 2, it might mean that we don't need to use the crystal. Okay, right, that takes, we're 16 minutes in there. We did have a dummy turn first, and he decides to do something. Right, so I'm going to play this to, it's either heal 1 or draw a card. I'm going to draw a card, and I'm just going to put that up there to signify that that's been played. And we're going to draw another card. Well, the other thing is he did start quite fast, using 5 cards, so us burning through our deck is probably not that bad an idea. Right, well, we did get the 2, so it's another march. So this card's been used. So now we're still in our movement. So now we could do move 2, 4, 6, usually 3 cards. Yeah. Actually, does that make that any different? It might do. It might do. Okay, I'm going to use March for 2. I'm going to move 2. We're going to move 4. And we're going to move for another 2, 6. So I'm going to move 6. I'm going to go 3 into the forest, and then 3 more into their hills. I'm pretty sure they're hills. Yeah, they are. So that's 6 movement into the hills. Was that? Yeah, we could have went 2, 4 there. We can't explore down here because this is a coastline anyway. So I think so. And plus, if we moved into there, if you're adjacent to a rampaging enemy, like there, and we decide to move from there to there, he's going to attack us. It's only these and the dragons that'll do that. So, not that that's maybe what we'd want to do, but I think that makes more sense. We'll do 6 into there. Okay, so that's us finished our move. We've still got 4 cards left. So, we could carry an attack. We could do a recruit option with influence. Remember, I've not spent the mana out the source yet. I've not used one of the mana dice. We've got blue or white. White's not any good to us at all. Well, apart from using it through this to give us a white crystal to our inventory. But can we? Don't think so. What does this do? Ice block 5. If we were to power that with blue mana, Ice block 5. So that blocks on. The thing is, Ice block 3 blocks him anyway. But if we were to attack the other guy, Ice block 5, and then get +1 ice block for each ability or colour of attack depicted on the enemy token you block, unless it has arcane immunity. Right, hang on. +1 ice block for each ability or colour of attack depicted on the enemy token you block, or for each mana spent by an opponent during the attack. Right, I think I'm getting summoned. I didn't think I was going to get too much done here, so I'll pause for a bit just now. Hi all. Right, back to continue this, just this part 2. Yeah, I got called away then. Actually, a few days have went by since that last bit that I've just joined in this on. So I was just trying to catch up on where I was. So I had clearly made, actually, before I do, there's something that was bothering me. Now I've had to plug my phone in because there was no charge in it here, so things might get messy a bit. Yeah, something that was bothering me a little bit. This isn't a huge big deal, but when I dealt these action cards out and the spells out, I dealt it from there. This was the first card, second card, third card. Well, I know it's probably not even written in the rules that's maybe not wrong or is the right way to do it or whatever. But I think most people have been doing it the other way, and I'm pretty sure I did it this way myself. So, in actual fact, I think this card being the first card should be down here. This would have been the middle card still, and this would have been the top. This would have been the last card. Because if this card goes away, these then slide down and the other one gets replaced in there. Yeah, it's not a huge big deal, and I could have carried on playing it that way, but I'm pretty sure that's how I've done it before. I think if you watch other videos, I think that's probably how it was done. Now, you might ask, what difference does it make? These are all in the offer anyway. Well, when we skill up, not the first time, but the second time we skill up and take a skill token, we get to look at the previous skill token that we removed from, Norowas' skills. So when we do our first skill, we look at two skill tokens of our own, and we pick one, and the other one gets removed from the game, actually, in the solo game. Normally it would go into the I don't know the word, I can't think of the word, and the sort of general offer. And we would pick one of these off the top, and it would go into the general offer as well. And then come next time when we skilled up, we would look at two of ours again, but we would also consider the one that we'd removed from Norowas. Now, if we choose, we can also take that one as our skill. If we do choose to take that one, well, hold on, let's see. When we pick between our two skills, we then also get the choice of one of these advanced action cards. Choice of any one, right? If we pick, when we get the chance to pick one of a Norowas' skills, and we do pick it, then we only get to pick the bottom advanced action card. And that's why it was bothering me there as well. And then obviously the same for the spells, so I'm going to switch these a bit as well, because this should have been down here, and this should have been up here. And, it's... To be honest, it's not just for removing that, picking that through the skill. When we go to refresh the advanced actions, that card will get removed and these will slide down, and that goes the same for the spells as well. So, I know, not a big deal, and I could have let it just carry on the way I was doing it, but it was bothering me a little bit. So, yes, it seems the strangest things can bother me. Okay, so I was trying to catch up. We've made the move. Now I must use that to draw. Did I just use it to draw one card? I must have done, because where am I getting the green mana from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 cards in our hand. Did we play with Great Start? I think we did. Yeah. Yeah, we clearly did. So in our hand size to start with is 5. So we played with Great Start, that's 7 cards. So we should have 7 cards. These are the ones that I've played already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, so I've used the Tranquility to draw 1 card, haven't I? Rather than power it up. I've also, I can't actually, there's not any access to green mana. So I used that to draw an extra card, taking us up to 8 cards in total, which is right. And I've used these 3 as just move 2 to move from there. That's 3 during the day. So 3 and then 3 into the, is it hills? Yeah. Yeah, looks like kills. So that's our six movement. Yeah, and that's where I was at. Now we've done all the movement that we're going to do, and we've got two marauding orcs there to consider maybe going for, or we're finishing in the refugee camp, which we found out we could recruit one of the guys in the offer. They're all 7, but remembering the refugee camp is going to add a +1 to that, so we would need 8 influence. We've got the potential to, again, it's blue and white mana in the source. We've got a black there as well, so it's kind of rubbish. So we're not going to really be able to do that this turn, but could we have a go at one of the orcs then? I think that's what I was thinking about doing. We've only got, we've no units, so again, and we've no access to red mana. What can this give us? What can Crystallize give us? It says, when you play this, also pay 1 mana of a basic colour, gain a crystal of that colour to your inventory. Right? Well, we could pay either blue or white from the source and then get one of them to our inventory. Or, however, we do have the blue mana, so we could charge that up. Right. So we could use the blue mana out of the source and get a colour of anything. Well, in actual fact, we could get red there. So we could get a red crystal. We could be able to power this up and do an attack 4. Yeah, I think that's maybe what I was thinking. This guy's got defensive 5, and he's got fire and ice resistance, but we would just be attacking him with physical damage anyway. He's also got brutal, so this 3. If we don't block that 3, it becomes a 6. And this guy, we've got enough. So we've worked out we've got enough to deal 4 damage to him. However, we don't know what we're going to get with that. And the brown enemies can be, they're a step up. They're possibly the next step up from the orcs, but you could get a lucky one, you could get not so lucky one. And then, well, all we've got to block with, if we use that card and we do use the mana, which we would have to do from the source, we then can't power this up. I'm forgetting this has got an attack as well. Yeah, that doesn't really help us. So we would have an ice block of 3. Yeah. That's quite annoying. We could actually take it out with using all 4 cards, I think. Couldn't we? This one, I mean. We don't know about this one because we don't know what we're going to get. I don't really want to use my threatening card though, because that's my big influence there, sitting where I am. Yeah, to try and take that out, it's not fortified, but that's irrelevant. We've not got any ranged attack anyway. It's ice and fire resistant, which isn't relevant either. If I'm using ice block, that's not. If I was using ice attack, I would need 10 to kill it. Or if I was using fire attack, or a mixture of both, I would need 10 to kill it. If I'm using physical attack, I just need the 5. However, I could block that. I could block that with this, ice block 3. And then I would need 5 to kill it. I get the red mana through that, like we talked about. I use that for attack 4, and I finish it. I use 1 just sideways for attack 5. Which I think I may have talked about all these things already. I'm just like, it was a few days ago that I recorded that part. So, but that doesn't mean using their threaten. That would give you 3 fame. The other one gives you 4. Both of which level you up. And that's kind of what I'd like. Or do we take a chance and go for the other one? How about we look at what the brown enemies could be? I know this is maybe something that I might not have done in the past, and maybe it's something that you shouldn't really be having a look at. In fact, Did I not look at these already? I think I might have done. Well, we're looking at them now anyway. I mean, it is open information. We don't know which one we're going to get, remember? But I'm just thinking, if I had Ice Block 3, is that going to stop any of them? And the answer is no. I'm not going to be able to block. And this would be devastating. If you get this one, because the Medusa effect is, if this hits you, I think you discard your hand. I'm pretty sure that's what that does. But all the attack strength, the lowest one's 5. And if I consider the 2 or 3 that are on the expansion, well, this is ice and fire. So if I was ice blocking that wouldn't be any good either. That's a 4, and that's 3 2s that you must have to. I'm not quite sure how that one works, the Hydra. So it does look like my cold toughness isn't going to get me through any of them. So yeah, it just really means it's the choice of taking this out. Now what I could do is just end my turn there. Maybe that's the wiser move. But I'm only going to draw 1 extra card because my hand size is 5, remember. And our great start is done, you know that. So I'm only going to draw 1 extra card. However, that 1 extra card would be enough to allow me to attack this and kill it, wouldn't it? And then we draw back up to 5 cards next turn. We're still sitting here and we recruit. I think that's probably the best idea. How did the dummy player start? Did he draw extra cards? Looks like he did. Or he had 2 shots. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. Wait, that doesn't compute. What have you done here, Grant? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it was white. Yeah, he started fast. Sorry, that was his 3rd card that he's drawn. He's got 2 white crystals. That's why he's drawn 2 extra cards. So he had a fast start, which sort of means that we shouldn't really be dilly-dallying. And probably should just take out the orcs right now. Oh no, I mean that was just his first turn. I think I'll take a chance here and just end my move there. End my turn there, I think. I don't want to waste that threaten. Because that's 5 influence and we need 8 influence, so if I can get another card with influence, or even just turn 3 cards sideways, then I get a unit. I mean, they're all pretty decent. Well, the fact they all cost 7 to recruit, you know. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna end my turn there. Let's do that. So I didn't use. No, hold on. Do I want to use the mana from the source? Probably do, because then I'll re-roll the dice. There's a gamble to that, obviously, if we roll black. Oh yeah, no, I want to use that because I was going to give me an extra card draw as well, Grant. Yeah, think about it. Okay, so that's my movement finished. This is a special action, remember. So I'm going to use this, Crystallize. And I'm going to take the blue mana from the source. And I'm going to add a crystal of any colour to my inventory. I'm going to take a red crystal, because that's what we need to power up our rage, or for that matter, our threaten if things went differently. So that just goes in my inventory. And then that's me. Okay, so the end of a round, how's the round end? Does it show you the end of a round here? 1 turn. No, so it's the end of a turn. End of a turn, there's someone in the back. So we return and re-roll the mana dice used. Right? So we're going to re-roll that blue, and I'm kind of hoping for a red here, or a gold. And then we got white, which I've already got in the source, unfortunately. Okay. Right, and then, so what was that? Do a force withdrawal. Discard the played cards, return all mana except crystals, obviously. That's our crystal, so that stays. So we're going to discard all our cards. So the cable's in the way here, it's a bit of a pain. So we discard all the cards that we played. That goes in our discard pile to the side here. That'll do. And then what else do we do? Claim your combat rewards. Well, we didn't do any of that. And process level ups. This is when you would do the level ups if you had. None of that to do. Discard any number of cards from your hand, at least one if no cards were played this turn. So if you don't play a card that turn, you have to discard the card. Sorry, it's leaning over because of the cable, but I've got very little charge just now. I should have been better prepared, obviously, and plugged that in earlier. It sits up here, up the stairs, and sometimes I leave it on for a bit, charging, and sometimes I don't. I'm always worried about leaving things on, and not really sure if it's safe or not. Anyway, so you could discard cards from your hand right now. Okay, that's something maybe I wasn't really thinking about having the option to do, but I mean, if we did have some card that maybe wasn't quite useful right now and we wanted to draw an extra cards, you can see we could do that right now. But I think we need the cards we want. And then we draw cards up to our modified hand limit. Well, our hand limit's still just 5. We've got 3 cards here, so we're going to draw 2 more. And we're going to get mana draw. That is pretty good, because we can take the white from the source, take a mana away from the source and set it to any colour except gold. Gain 2 mana tokens of that colour. That's good. Right, and I'm glad we've got 1 extra slot, because we need 1 extra card for attack, don't we? So that's 4 cards, and then concentration. Well, we might have to play one of these 2 cards sideways, I think, to achieve what we were going to do. Right, that's our 5 cards drawn up, so it's over to the dummy player, or to give them their proper title, Norowas. So he's got 2 white on it. It's a she, isn't it? Norowas. Looks a bit like, looks like a she. I've not got the figure there, but it looks like it in the picture. So 2 white and a green she's got. And we got white. We've got white as the 3rd card in the first turn. So let's hope we don't get that this time. So 1, 2. That doesn't bode well. 3. Oh, we got away with it. That's blue. Good. So she's not going to draw any more cards because it's just white and green. So that was better for us. Right, so back to us. Just giving you a look at the source. 2 white and a black in the source. So, yeah. Right, so can we now just stay where we are, make our attack, and then next turn... I mean, we've got the red crystal in inventory, but I can't use the mana draw. To be honest, can I save the mana draw? Not really, no. I need to... We've got the block 3, so I could just attack this orc. And then to get the 5, we need a red mana for 4, and then... Yeah, the other card turns sideways, and we're wanting to keep that. So, I don't think it matters really how I do this, to be honest, because I could get a red mana token from that to power that up. But then I'm having to use mana draws turned sideways to get the extra, to get the 5th point of damage. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you do it. Take the white from the source. I'm probably better taking the white from the source and re-rolling it again. That could give me... Oh, you set it to red, actually. And you do not re-roll it. That's better then. That's good, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do... Right, I think I'm going to do this. This is one of these games where you could start doing something and totally rewind your move. As long as no new information, then I'm okay with that. And I'm pretty sure the game's meant to be played that way as well. Right, so I'm going to use the stronger effect of the mana draw. Am I? Yeah, because using the 2 white... Doesn't do anything. No, it doesn't do anything for me. So I need to do the stronger effect. So it's take a mana die from the source, set it to any colour except gold, gain 2 mana tokens of that colour. Do not reroll this die when you return it to the source. Oh yeah, and I can take the black die as well, can I? Right, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to use the white mana from the source to power it up. Okay? And then I'm going to take a mana die from the source and set it to any colour except gold. So I'm going to take the black dice from the mana source, because it says any dice, and I'm going to set it to red. Right? I'm just going to leave it down here, because that doesn't re-roll. Well, actually, it's going to go back to the source when I'm going to return it to the source like that without re-rolling it. We will re-roll this white one, though, because it's been used for the other thing. So we set it to any colour, set gold, and we take 2 mana tokens of that colour. So I'm going to take 2 reds. And this time, these just go in my play area. These are just mana tokens, not mana crystals. I mean, they're similar, but we have to use these this turn, or they'll go away, whereas the other one in my inventory, it can stay there all game. Oh, another thing is, you're only allowed to have 3 of one colour, each colour, stored away. Although the dummy player with his crystals on his card, that doesn't count for him. He can have more than 3. Okay, so we'll set that to red. Well, I can actually I'll put this back in the source now. And this one will get re-rolled at the end. So, that's that done. Now, we're now going to challenge this marauding orc. Okay? So we go to the blocking step. Let's see, does it have a little combat with enemies? So the first step you get is rage and siege attack phase. So we add any range or siege. Now, normally this would be fortified, so you would need siege. Range attack wouldn't work. However, you can see that the red X there is stating that this enemy is not fortified. So if we had a range attack of 5, a physical range attack of 5 right now, we could play this in the first step, the first phase of combat, and take that guy out, and he wouldn't get a chance to hit us at all. Or if we had siege, range or siege for this guy. But if that wee red X wasn't there, range 5 wouldn't do it, siege 5 would do it, okay? So we don't have any range attack, so we skip by that phase. So now we've got the block phase. So we perform none, one or more blocks. You may block one enemy with each block, right? So we're going to use, his attack is 3, that's physical. We're going to use this ice block 3. Just starting to wonder here if, well, thing is, we would be taking 2 wounds. There's the way the wounds work. If we didn't block this, he's going to hit us for 3. Our armour is 2. So what you do is, you divide the 3 into the 2, and that tells you how many wounds you're going to get, and it always rounds up to the next one. So we would take 1 wound, and then reduce the attack down to 1, and then it would hit us again and give us a second wound. Whereas if our armour was 3, and he was attacking for 3, we would just take the 1 wound, and that absorbs the 3 damage, and that's that. But that's not the case. So we would take 2 wounds. And yeah, I mean, I suppose I'm thinking of trying to keep the cards in my hand, maybe try and keep concentration, but or to be honest, if I was going to do that, I probably wouldn't do the mana draw to keep it in my hand. Now, I'm going to block. We've got the block to do it, so why not? So I'm going to ice block 3. So that's that played. That's us blocked him. Now we then move into the assign. If we hadn't blocked, we would move into assign damage phase. For each enemy that was not defeated or blocked, assign damage equal to its attack value. Well, we did block it, so we don't need to do anything with that. It tells you how you do that. This is just a summary at the back. So we're then moving into the attack phase. We can perform none, 1 or more attacks. You may defeat 1 or more enemies with each. Play any attacks including range and siege ones, or a card played sideways of total value equal to or higher than the chosen enemy's armour to defeat them. Gain fame for each defeated enemy, but do not level up yet and discard its token. Do not level up yet and discard its token. Oh, do not level up yet and we discard its token, right? Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't be able to use the influence anyway. Yeah, no. Okay, that's fine. Right, so our attack phase, we need to hit it for 5, and it needs to be physical to benefit from it just being 5, like I said. So we're going to play this and power it up with one of our crystals for attack 4, and we're just going to use our concentration turned sideways for another attack of 1, so that's attack of 5. So that's going to defeat this guy. So when we defeat marauding orc, rampaging enemy, whatever they are, we gain 1 reputation. So that goes up 1. It's still on 0, but it's moved up 1, which is important because our threaten, if we use our threaten, it's going to knock us back down 1. And then we gain the fame down the bottom, the red box down the bottom. So we gain 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have leveled up. And the next level up, you can see it's got a little card and a little skill. That tells you that, because every other level up you get the card and the skill, and then every other level up you get a new token. This would then turn over and become another possible recruit, but then you would then upgrade your armor or your cards. Let's see, our armor goes up by 1 there. That's not this level up. So, okay, so we defeat that guy. Hang on a sec. Right, and that's now the end of our turn. I do have this 1 red crystal left here. We've got this threaten. You can only take 1 action. I wouldn't have enough influence anyway here right now, but it's not now that I can then. It's either combat or what's that? What's the recruit thing called? I'm just finding these things. Hang on a second. Let me try and work out what I'm trying to say properly here. Right, just looking in that. A player's turn, playing a regular turn, has 2 voluntary parts, movement and action. First, you may but do not have to move. Well, we choose not to move in this turn, right? So just going back there, we choose not to move. It was an option. Yeah, it's a voluntary part. So we choose not to do that. It says your movement may result in a mandatory action. If we had moved from here to here, it would have that guy would have attacked us. So that would have been a mandatory combat that we would have to take. Or if we entered a fortified site like a keep or a mage tower, we would have to then have combat in there. Right, if there are no mandatory actions, you may choose to perform 1 and only 1 of the following voluntary actions. So we choose not to move, and one of the following voluntary actions, well, it gives you the options here. We may interact with the locals, as in we could spend some influence. This is if you're at a village, a monastery, a keep, a mage tower, a city, or for the new expansion, what is it? Yeah. I don't remember the name of it now. Refugee camp. Yeah. So we could do that as one of our actions. Or if there are rampaging enemies in one or more adjacent spaces, you can decide to challenge one or more of them in combat. One or more of them? Ooh. Okay. Sounds to me there like we could have attacked both of them then. By the way that's written. Okay. So that would have been, we could do either or. We couldn't do the attack and now do the interacting with the locals. Okay. That's what I was trying to get around to saying. interacting, and that was the word I was looking for. So this crystal's unfortunately just going to go waste, and we can't keep that or anything. So end of the turn, we return and reroll any mana dice. Well, we do have this white one. Remember, the other one that we changed to red does not get rerolled, so we reroll this. That's green, that's okay. So we've got red, white and green now. We've got rid of that black, so that was nice. And then we clear up. We could discard any cards. Discard play cards, return all mana crystals. So this has to just go away. This got used, so that goes away. So they go away. We discard the cards that we played. Oh, 4 of these. So now we've only got 1 card in our hand. And we're sitting in that refugee camp. So hopefully we can draw 4 more cards here and get something nice to get a bit of influence, get a bit more influence. Well, but before we do that, we have leveled up. So we've discarded a card. So now we claim our combat rewards and process our level ups. So I suppose now I would give myself the 3 points and the 1 extra reputation, but we've done that when we killed the enemy. So we're going to do that first, and then we would discard any number of cards from our hand, and then draw cards up to our modified hand limit. Right, so let's just carefully go through the level up process. Right, so I'm just looking at the rulebook here. There's a wee bit on page 9. Is this the walkthrough or the rulebook? That's the actual rulebook. Page 9 talks about end of turn, level up. So when advancing to a level marked with these icons, you get 1, and we're talking about this here, with the little card and the shield, the wee skill icon. And you get 1 new skill token and 1 advanced action card from the offer. Flip the top 2 skill tokens from your skill deck. You have 2 options now. Take one of those tokens and put the other in the common skills area. That's what I was trying to think about. That was the word. However, we're playing solo here, so let's just jump ahead to the different. This is a difference in the solo. Does it tell you in here? Doesn't tell you there, but I think maybe under the cooperative and solo scenarios, does it not tell you here about leveling up? Or does it maybe tell me where I'm reading? No, it doesn't. That's strange. Oh, hang on. It's further on here. It's on the next page, maybe. Yeah, skills in a solo game. It says, in a solo game, you also use a set of 10 skills belonging to the dummy player's hero. Shuffle them and put them face down next to his hero card. Every time your hero has gained a skill token, right, So once we picked one of these 2 skill tokens, we then reveal 1 skill of the dummy player and we put it into the common skills offer. It is available to you the next time you gain a skill token. If you choose such a skill from the common skill offer, you have to take the lowest advanced action card, as with usual level up rules. Alright, okay, so it must be if you're playing the multiplayer and you pick somebody else's skill, you have to pick the bottom one. That must probably tell me where I'm reading this now. Yeah, take a token of another player from the common skills area, then put both of your real skills in the common skills. In addition, take the advanced action card from the lowest position. Right, okay. In both cases, put the newly gained skill in front of you face up, the newly gained action card on top of your deed deck, then refresh the advanced action offer by moving cards down and adding a new card to the topmost position. Okay, so where was the bit that I just moved away from there? But I'm sure it tells me here that we remove our other skill. Well, you know what? I know it does. Skills. Doesn't seem to tell us there, but the other skill doesn't. We can't select it if it's in the common skills offer, but we can't select it. So right, so let's look at the two skills off the top of Tovak's skills. We get two of them. So let's see what we get. Okay, we've got the cooperative one then, right. Now, let me just get that little card that tells me, and the cooperative one as well. So the one on the left here is called Motivation. I think these are pretty good actually, Motivation. So once a round, and remember a round's the whole day, right? And I think that's what that arrow represents. So once a round on any player's turn, flip this to draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. If you have the least fame, okay. Right, there must be some sole rule for that then, which I might have to go and look up. I very much doubt that's going to tell me in the rules. So I'm guessing that'll be somewhere. Yeah, I was going to print a couple of things out again before I started today, and I forgot again. Sorry, I'm looking at this. This is what I should be showing you. Motivation. Once a round, on any player's turn, flip this to draw 2 cards. If you have the least fame, not tied, also gain a blue mana token. You cannot use another motivation skill until the end of your next turn. Yeah, because you can have multiple. I think each character's got a motivation skill. It does, probably does the 2 cards draw, but maybe it gets different colours mana. It's a mana token you get. I want to say I think we get that benefit all the time because there's nobody else. We're the only one that's scoring fame here, so I think we're considered to have the least fame. I might be wrong. I'm going to have to look that up. Anyway, that's Motivation, which is going to be a tough one to beat because that's pretty good. So what is this one then? This is the cooperative skills. There's that one there. So mana overload. Once a round, so again a day or a night, choose a colour other than gold and gain a mana token of that colour. Put this skill token in the centre and mark it with another token of the same colour. The first player who uses mana of that colour to power a card that gives move, influence or any type of attack or blow gets +4 from that card and returns the skill to you face down. Right, how the heck does that going to work with? I'm not sure how that works with the solo side of things as well. But that's what these were brought in for. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take Motivation anyway. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to take that. So this would normally go into the common skills offer if you're playing multiplayer for other people to choose. But because we can't choose this at any time in the game, it just gets removed. So in fact, I'll just flip that over and put it underneath the pile again. Unless there's a time machine. No, I don't think you're going to shuffle them. And we're going to get this into that's our first skill. Right, and then with that, we're going to pick one of these advanced action cards. So what do we have here? Yeah, this table is messing about, moving things about. Right, let's just zoom in on Chivalry there first. So Chivalry, it's a white card. Attack 3 or attack 2 and reputation +1 for each enemy defeated by this attack. Or the more powerful effect with white mana is attack 6 or attack 4 and reputation +1 and fame +1 for each enemy defeated by this attack. It's not bad. It's not bad. Right. Next one, Crystal Mastery. Blue card. Gain a crystal to your inventory of the same colour as a crystal you already own. Or power it up with blue mana. At the end of this turn, any crystals you have spent this turn are returned to your inventory. The powerful effect of that is pretty good. Okay, and then finally I need green card. Influence. Oh, there's a word that we're... Oh, hang on. Right, sorry about that. I got called away again. So I had to cut that part. I think that's another 1934. I think we're about 50 odd minutes at the moment. So I'll try and wrap this part up now because it's taken a while to get the second part done. Like I say, I don't not had as much time to come up the stair recently. So yeah, we took our skill. Yeah, and we're going to pick an action card. Yeah, and I was just looking at the last one and I think I got called away. But remembering that we're sitting in this refugee camp requiring 8 influence, we've only got 1 card in our hand at the moment. We're just about to draw up to our 5 hand size again. But this gives us influence, well, 5, and red mana in the source as well. So, however, this last card is more influence. So influence 3, get an additional influence 1 for each wound card in your hand and or on a unit you can... Oh, I was watching back in some... yeah, I think when you bring this game back to the table again, you've not played it in a while, and you watch Ricky Royals play through his solo Conquest, he totally abused this card. It was amazing. Because the stronger part is... if you pay a green mana, it's influence 5, but you get an additional 2 for each wound card in your hand and or a unit you control. And he was clearly abusing that by, well, not caring so much about having wounds in his hands. I mean, imagine playing that, you've got a couple of wounds in your hands, that's 9 influence for that card alone, with a stronger effect. Or if you're just playing the base effect even, it would still be, what, 5 influence, you know, so it's pretty decent. The fact that, and when we take this card, by the way, it goes on the top of our draw pile, so that's the next card we're going to draw, whatever we take. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Well, like I've said, the next thing we're going to do, I would think, is use our influence in the refugee camp to recruit one of these units. I'm not sure which one yet. We've got a choice of 3. The other thing, I mean, we could be going for this. To be honest, we're probably going to be going for that guy next, I think. Well, not necessarily. We could come over the monastery here. And you can do that nasty thing in the monastery where you can burn it down. Hopefully get yourself an artifact out of it. Which is probably something that most of the guys that get high scores on this do. I mean, it does give you some minus reputation. I think I'm going to take in need, though. Well, I'm just thinking if I took Chivalry, attack 3, in fact, attack 6. But, you know, we're going to have to face the wrath of whatever that unit is that Orc's going to turn it, whatever he's going to summon. The summoner's going to summon a brown enemy for us to have to defend against. I think, yeah, then you will have... Well, no, then you won't have a unit yet, because that's you doing something different. Yeah, I think I'm going to take in need. Because even, I mean, I've not got any wounds in my hand just yet. But it's a good reason. I mean, I say Ricky, when he played with us, abused this. If you've watched his playthrough nearer the end of the game, where he struggles quite a bit actually as well, and you wonder if he's going to do it. But then near the end of the game, he uses this card to recruit 2 catapults, which are like, are they not something like 9 influence each or something? And he uses that card to do it. So it's pretty powerful if you use it the right way. I mean, you've got to be having wounds in your hands, really, to benefit most from it. Yeah, I mean, the other 2 cards are all right, but I think I'll go for this. I think we'll go for In Need. Now, are we going to benefit from the green mana here? Well, we're not going to use the wound bit anyway, but I might be better using that. Well, we've got green and red in the source, so we've got either on. I might be better using the stronger effect of that rather than the threaten, because the threaten knocks our reputation down by 1 and gives us the same influence. Oh no, I need 8 influence, so. Okay. Right, we're going to take that. So what happens there, that goes on the top of our deck. Like I say, we're going to just about to draw that. And then these drop down and we refresh the advance offer. Advance action. So we've got Frost Bridge, move 2, the move cost of swamps is reduced to 1 this turn. Stronger effect, move 4, you are able to travel through lakes, and the move cost of lakes and swamps is reduced to 1 this turn. All these cards have their uses. You might think, sounds a bit boring, but moving about in the game is quite hard as well. So anyway, that's what we'll go. Okay, so that is us leveled up. So that's just done our level up. Yeah. And then, so now we draw back up to our hand limit, which is 5. And we've got one card in our hands, so we're going to draw 4 more cards. We already know what that is going to be. So in need, we get Swiftness, move 2, range attack 3. That's 3 cards and R2 to come. Right, Instinct. I want to say that's this character's special one, I think. Seems a bit different from the norm. So move 2, influence 2, attack 2 or block 2. That's nice, eh? It's nice, or power it up, it goes to 4. So that's 4 cards, 1 more. Move 2 or move 4, stamina, yeah. Okay, and we've got, to be honest, we're doing okay here. We've got 3 cards left in our hand. So we might well be drawing these 3. Now we do have this to benefit from. I'm going to have to find out about that something. The West Fame. I'm sure it's written somewhere, and I'm pretty sure we get this no matter what. Let's go and double check that one first. Yeah, there's an FAQ out there. I'm going to. I feel like I say this for every game I've been playing recently about going and printing certain things out and then I work around to doing it. There's an FAQ and it was asked, the question was asked in motivation in a solo game, do you benefit from that, having the lowest fame? And yes is the answer. So we will get that crystal. It's just the crystal, isn't it? So that's a pity it's blue then, isn't it? It's not going, man, it's not a sorry, it's a token rather than a crystal, isn't it? Motivation, where are we? Also gain a blue mana token, yes. So it doesn't go to my inventory. Okay. Well, let's see what I'm going to do. Well, hold on. It's not my turn. It's over Norowas. That's us ended our turn, drawing back up to 5 cards. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, okay. So across to Norowas to draw 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3 is green. She has 1 green, so she'll draw 1 more. She's still got maybe 4 or 5 cards there. So I think we're good. Let's say we've only got 3. Okay. So, well, we normally want to recruit, and then I think possibly try and get to the monastery and start our next turn there. We can explore into here and then move up further. Thing is, you've got to do your movement first. We can't recruit here and then move. So we're going to recruit and then have to end our turn. So I don't think I want to use this and get the blue mana token just now. I mean, I could do it, draw the extra 2 cards, but if we're just going to sit there and spend influence, I'm better keeping this till next turn. Even if I don't get the card benefit draw, because I get the blue mana for the stamina there to get an extra 2 move. So I think that makes sense, doesn't it? And to be honest, I think we're maybe only playing. Oh, we did get this as well, though. Well, don't use that for the influence then. Well, hold on here. We need influence. We're in a refugee camp. We want to recruit a unit that has either the Mage Tower, or the Monastery, or the Keep. So it's all the units are that. They're going to be a +1. Yeah, I did want to ask a question about, can we recruit this card? Because if this says as if we're in that, it does talk about just units here though, and this isn't, although it's in the unit offer. What would it normally be if you were in? See, I don't think that's going to work, is it? Let me go and have a quick search for refugee camps, see if anybody's maybe asked that question. Okay, I can't find any out there. I don't really think it's worthwhile asking the question. I wonder, should you have checked the FAQ maybe? A sec. Right, no, I can't find anything that talks about it. I'm going to assume that that's not recruitable from the refugee camp. I think you have to actually be in a monastery to be able to do that, because it does talk units here. So we're going to go with that. If somebody wants to say that we feel that we could do that there, let me know. But I'm going to treat it as not. So we need 8 influence, because these are all 7, and we've got to add a +1. Okay. So what do we have here? Well, I mean, potentially I've got red mana in my inventory. There's green and red and white in the source. I potentially could power up both of these, or both of these, or both of these. I'd rather not use the red in my inventory though. This one powered up would lose us a reputation. I mean, we did boost ourselves up by 1, so it's not a huge big deal. But if we can avoid that, it'd be better. This one's more flexible though, because we can use this for move, attack, or block. Whereas these are just both influence. So if I power up this one, I'm going to get 5. I've no wounds in my hand or on units. I get 5 and the 2's 7. If I do it that way, I'm going to have to spend another card sideways to get 8. To get the 8th point. If I power up the other way, I'm going to get the 5 and the 3, and that's me sorted. Which is probably the best thing. Probably the better way to do it, and then lose the reputation. Now that's, like I've said, we want to use it before the end of the round. We've only got 3 cards left in our hand. So if I spend the 2 cards, we're going to draw back up. We're going to leave 1 card behind, but we can draw it with us and then get the blue mana token. Is it possible for us to get to the monastery and burn it down by the end of the turn? Crossing the walls. Does crossing the walls do anything terrain-wise? Like for movement, I mean? It does. So walls, movement. To cross a wall on the map, you have to pay 1 extra movement point. Terrain discounts cannot negate this extra cost. Walls have no effect on movement invoked directly by an effect, flight, etc. Okay, so... Well, it's into plane, so it's 2, so it'd be 3 to go into there, and then the monastery's on the hills as well, which is another 3, isn't it? Yeah, so it's going to cost us 6. So I would guess that blue mana token is going to come in handy, and we can power that up for 4. And we could use that, but I think that's probably our 6th move. Remember, these cards are away. That's going to be replaced by 3 other cards, and this, which could give us some attack or block. Remember, we're also going to have a unit to be able to use as well. When you burn down the monastery, you fight a purple monster, I think, or violet as they call them. Monastery. Burning the monastery. Well, in a monastery, you may decide to try to burn it down as your action for the turn, if you haven't already taken your action for the turn. And especially not after interacting in the monastery. Yeah, can't interact there and then burn it down because that's 2 actions. So to do so, you announce your attempt. You immediately get reputation -3. There's always someone willing to defend the monastery. Draw a random violet enemy token and fight it. Your units will not help you in this combat as they feel that what you're doing is very wrong. Okay, you can neither activate them and use their abilities nor assign damage to them. Oh dear. Okay. If you win the combat, you gain an artifact at the end of your turn, which are the strongest cards in the game, remember. So I suppose the other option would be to end our turn by interacting in the monastery and possibly getting this. I want to say it's 6, is that? You can learn one of these advanced actions through interaction. The cost is 6 influence points. So that would cost us 6 influence. Remember, we've got this card, which if we can power it up for 4. So, pure magic. You play this, pay a mana. If you paid green, move 4. If you paid white, influence 4. If you paid blue, block 4. If you paid red, attack 4. And then the stronger one, remember you're going to have to pay blue and the other mana, but the numbers go up to 7. That's pretty good. Okay. Right, we want to get this part wrapped up, Grant. I think we're over an hour now. So, did I take her turn? I did. It is her turn. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to use my skill token. In fact, I'm just going to put my skill tokens up there, I think. So, yeah, we're going to... I don't know what unit we're taking yet, but we're definitely wanting one of them. So I'm going to power this up with the red mana from the source, I think. Yeah, to give us influence 5, and then at the end of my turn I'm going to take -1 reputation hit. Okay, and then we're also going to play a need, just for influence 3. We don't have any wounds, so that's influence 8. Yeah, that's influence 8. So let's look at the units. Okay, so Guardian Golems. Just straight up without any mana can attack or block 2. If we pay red mana, they can fire block 4. Blue mana can ice block 4. Pretty decent. The Northern Monks attack or block 3 straight up. They can pay blue mana to have ice attack or ice block 4. So pretty good as well. You'll notice their armor's 3, their armor's 4. Because they can defend for you. Now, hold on. This one's got physical resistance. Now, this is a bit I'm a little unsure about. I think this is really, really strong if I'm right here. Now, let's just leave this question in here before I start having to look for it myself. Again, I have been watching a few 2 or 3 Mage Knight videos. I watched the heavy cardboard playthrough, and this was the impression that they gave here. So, and I think they're right with it, but there was a few bits of back and forth in the chat that were sort of saying different things. Let's just say this guy, we are attacking this guy, okay? And we're going to decide to not block the attack. We're not going to use any block. We're going to put that unit, when it comes to assign damage, we're going to put that, we've got that unit, we're going to put that unit in to assign damage, right? So the 3 is going to hit it. Now it's physical damage, and he's got 3, and it's physical armor he's got. Which I think means that if this was to hit this at all, no, see, surely it still wounds it, does it not? You've got to feel like it still wounds it. I mean, that just means it's got physical resistance, which means it needs 6 damage to kill it. Well, not kill it. See, I'm just a little unsure of this. Going to leave this in the end of this video. The only thing is, it could depend on, based on the proper way of that happening, might mean this is much stronger than the likes of this. So maybe I should find this out for myself before, for sure. It feels odd. I'm pretty sure when I first played this game, if I was to assign that as a assign damage to this unit, I would still have gave it 1 wound. But I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's right at all. Let's see if I can work this out in the rule. This is probably one of the hardest bits about the game is some of the resistances. Let's see if we can maybe work this out. Okay, I think I might have found it in the rule. This is in the walkthrough, page 11. So looks like maybe what we're looking for, resistant units. If there is this icon, which next to a unit's armour, it means it has physical resistance. Right, that's what we're talking about. When you assign damage to such a unit, the damage is first reduced by the unit's armour. So if this reduces the damage to 0 or below, the unit is not wounded. It tells you right there, Grant. If not, we continue as normal, the unit gets wounded and the damage is reduced once more by its armour. So, okay. So if this unit had 4 damage, it wouldn't soak up 3 of it, it would still just wound it, wouldn't it? Now it would only wound it, well, would it? Would it only just wound it once, because it would soak up 3 first, then the overflow of that 1 would wound it. So if it was attack is 7, then it would be 2 wounds, wouldn't it? Which I think does 2 wounds not just kill the unit? Or maybe you can put 2 wounds. Another thing to maybe find out later. So here, there's an example. These guardian golems, it is the ones we're looking at, look. These guardian golems have armour 3 and physical resistance. If you assign 3 or less physical damage to them, nothing happens, as it will be absorbed before it does any harm. If you assign 4 or more damage to them, they will get wounded. If, for example, you have 8 total damage to assign, you could assign 6 to the guardian golems, they get wounded, and then 2 damage would be left over assigned elsewhere. So it does soak the 3 up. Yeah, so 6 would just give it the wound. Yeah, I don't think they can take 2 wounds. 2 wounds must mean they're dead. So no, imagine we face an attack of 5 and the guardian golems are the only unit we have. It would be most advantageous to assign 2 points of damage to our hero and let the remaining 3 to be absorbed by the golem's resistance. This is not possible though. We have to assign damage to units first. If we choose our golems, they absorb all 5 points of damage and become wounded. Okay, these are all little bits that you could maybe miss out. So, like, I would maybe think that, let me soak up 2 points of damage first. He gets the other 3 and just absorbs them. You can't do that. You've got to assign that to the unit first. Okay, so now, well, we do know that that does work. And it was done properly in that video that I watched. Like I say, these are all little things that can sort of maybe catch you. So both of these have got physical resistance. This one's only got 2 armour. This is the only one we didn't look at. Influence 4. For a white mana, target unfortified enemy does not attack this combat. They're always good, by the way. However, the fact that it's saying unfortified... And then the last one, straight up gain a white crystal to your inventory. So pretty good as well. I've got to feel like this seems pretty strong though. I mean, we've already seen an orc that can soak up, that he could just stand in front of it and not care about it. And remember, that doesn't activate that by him just assigning damage. To activate it means we use one of these 3 abilities. So he could assign 3 damage to himself and still be able to be activated at a later date. And when you activate these refresh, these only come back again at the end of the round, okay? I think I'm going to take that one then. I think so. I think just for that. I mean, the other bits of it are good as well. Fireblock and Iceblock's pretty decent. I mean, okay, this one has the ice attack bit as well, but remember, he's not got that resistance. Okay, going to take guardian golems. Then, maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some that might have chose something else there. So he goes there, and now that's only 1 unit we can recruit. To recruit another unit, I think we can just replace it with this if we wanted. Or we want to get our next level up and get another recruit token. Okay, so I'll have to move the cards about a little bit. So that's my action for the turn. We've got 3 cards left in our hand. So these are going away. We re-roll the mana dice. There's green. That's 2 green and a white. I would have preferred the red there, but however, you can't always get what you want. That's a song, isn't it? Right. So these get discarded. And our hand is now these 3 cards, so we draw back up. We didn't level up. We got our unit, and the unit offer doesn't refresh like the advanced actions there that would. These don't refresh until the beginning of the next round. Okay, so which wasn't far away. So we draw back up to 5 cards. So we've got 3 cards left in our hand. So we get Rage, attack a block 2, attack 4. So good if we're considering going and burning the monastery down. We want some attack and influence, which maybe we didn't want. Right, so we've got 1 card left in our hand, but remember, we're going to use that to draw that. And, yeah, but burning the monastery down, we don't get to use our units. So maybe we might not be doing that. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm just realising I was sort of saying this wasn't great, but we might just move to the monastery. And if we can get Influence 6 and take that pure magic card, that might be a better choice. Okay, we'll see. Right, I'll finish one more turn for the dummy, and then I'll call this part to a finish, I think, because yeah, it is well. It's over an hour now. So 3 more cards for Norowas. 1, 2 white cards there, and blue, there's no blue in the card, so he's not, but we're going to be drawing, we're going to be taking, well, not necessarily actually. Thing is, when he runs out of cards, his next turn he announces end of round and we get 1 last turn, so I think we've got 1, 2, yeah, we've got 3 more turns. We've got 3 more turns, and we've only got 1 card to draw. Right, okay, I'll wrap this one up for now. Hopefully get back a wee bit. I don't know. It's going to be a slow process, this one, I think. Like I say, I'm not been getting up the stairs so much. So, and I've still got D-Day Pillow to finish behind me before I set up my next game. So I'm struggling to maybe get that. I'm hoping it's still going to happen, but it's going to be a bit tight time-wise, I think. We shall see. Okay, I'll be back later. Cheers.